Hi guys, welcome to this video on our pattern drafting courses online. In my last video, I showed you how to draft a long sleeve sloper, but I did it manually. So before you come and start watching this video, it is good that you go and watch that video. I'm going to link it right below this video. I'm going to put the link there so that you go and watch this video before you come on and watch this one. This is my 7th video on my series of pattern making classes or pattern drafting classes online. So it is better you go watch the 1st to the 6th video so you can understand exactly how to use this free online pattern making software called the Fashioner. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to construct this sleeve sloper. And it is from this sloper that we are actually going to make different kinds of sleeves. So it's better you construct it to actually fit your measurements. I have a link below this video where you can download the basic sleeve measurement sheet. That is going to help you to be able to get some of the measurements that we are going to be using to draft this long sleeve pattern. And so without wasting much time, let's start. The first thing you need to do is to go to Google, put in Fearless Makers, and it takes you to the Fearless Makers website. If you don't know about this, I have a video that I'm going to link below where I explain how you can use this. That is why I said, please go back and watch my other videos of video 1 to video 6. So once we get here, we are going to go to the Fashioner. We are going to go to the Fashioner catalog. And once we get there, we are going to be looking for the blank canvas. That's the blank canvas. And we are going to open the blank canvas, and then we are going to choose a measurement set. You don't have to put in your measurement sets in the Fashioner. I also have a video that I will link right here where you can put in your measurement set. I have a video really that shows you how to do all that. I'll still link it under this video. So we are going to be using this measurement set, and then we are going to add that to the Fashioner basket, and then we are going to go straight to the Fashioner, and this is the canvas we are going to be using to draft our sleeve block. So the first thing we are going to do is to create a rectangle. We're going to create a rectangle right here measuring 28 inches by 16 inches. You can also use centimeters. I'm going to be using centimeters. That is actually 71.1 centimeters by 40.7 centimeters. And we're going to divide that rectangle into 2. If you watch my former videos, you know that to add points, you just go to here, add 3 points. And once you just create any place here and add a point, you save it, it stays there. Then from there, you can create another point, create another point, create another point, according to the measurements that I have given to you. So this is my rectangle, which I've already created. According to the measurement, I've created is 71.1 centimeters by 40.7 centimeters. And I've divided it into 2 equal parts. Then on one side of this, on one side of the rectangle and this side of the rectangle, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. That is 2.5 centimeters and 2.5 centimeters. And I'm going to join it with a line, and this is going to be my cap line. So to join a line is quite easy. Just go to lines and then add line. So that's how I'm going to join a line between these 2 points. Now we are going to get the bisect line, and to get your bisect line, just get your cap height measurement. To get your cap height measurement, please refer to the download. I have a link under this video where you can download and then get your cap height measurement. And that cap height measurement, we are going to take it from here, down here, and the same measurement down here, and we are going to square down a line to give us our bicep line. Now on this bicep line, I'm now going to add my bicep measurement. And what I will do, I will get my bicep circumference divided by 2. My bicep circumference is 31.8 centimeters. When I divide by 2, I get 5.9. I get 15.9 centimeters. So I'm going to be measuring from here 15.9, from here 15.9. So that's exactly what I'm going to do and put my bicep measurements. So now let's go ahead and get our elbow line and our wrist line. So first of all, to get your elbow line, measure your underarm seam measurement, divide it by 2, and then subtract 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches is about 3.8 centimeters. My underarm seam measurement divided by 2 is 24.2 centimeters. And when I subtract 3.8 centimeters, I get 20.4 centimeters. So I'm going to be measuring from this bicep line 20.4 centimeters this way and 20.4 centimeters this way. And remember, when you're going towards the left on the x-axis, you put a negative sign. So what you do, you just go to point, add point from point. I'm going to start from this point, continue x-axis. So it's going to be negative 20.4. Enter, and you can see it right there. So I'll do the same thing right there. So save it. I'll do the same thing here, and I'll sew a line across it. Now we are going to find our elbow circumference and divide it in between the 2 lines, just like we did when we were doing our bicep circumference. And we'll do the same thing with our wrist circumference. Now, to get our wrist line, where exactly is the wrist line going to be? What you need is to get your underarm inseam measurement. Once you get your underarm inseam measurement, you're now going to measure from your elbow line to your bicep line and subtract it from your total inseam measurement. My total inseam measurement is 48.30. So I'm going to find the distance between here and here. And to do that, you just go to Utilities, go to Distance Between Points, and then just click these 2 and calculate. So the distance between my elbow line and the bicep line is 20.55 centimeters. So this is what I'm going to subtract from my total underarm inseam measurement, which is 48.30. And when I do that, I get 25.75. So the distance from here to where my wrist circumference is going to be 25.75. And I'm going to use point, add point from point, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going negative side of the x-axis. So I'm going to add my negative 25.75. I'm going to enter, and that is where my wrist line is going to be. I'm going to do the same thing here, and then I'll draw the line, and then I'll mark my wrist circumference with the same method I use for my elbow circumference and my bicep circumference. So now we're going to join all our points together in a straight line. So we'll just go to points, now go to lines, add multiple points. So we'll just mark that, so, and continue and save. And we are going to do the same thing on the other side. Add that, continue, So we have that. Good. So now let's label our line. To label your line, you go to Utilities, add text between points. We're going to choose where we want to add our text between these 2 points. Continue, and then we put the text. And we want to write our wrist line. And then we enter, and there you have it, and save it. So now we've gotten all our lines: wrist line, elbow line, bicep line. So now we're going to create our sleeve curve. To do that, first of all, find the distance between the extra part of this bicep line and this side. So once you found the distance, divide that distance by 2, and that is the distance we are going to create using our point-to-point instruction right here. And remember, to find the distance, you just go to Utilities, go to Distance Between Points, and then click on the point, and then it will calculate it, 4.43. So I'm going to be getting 2.21 centimeters from this point on this our cap line. So I'll do the same thing on this side, and then I'll extend the line to that point. Now the next thing, now we've extended our lines from this point to this our point. The next thing is to find the midway between this point. Find the midway between this point, the midway between this point, the midway between this point, and the midway between this point. And do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to find the midway between here to here. And remember, to do that, there are many ways you can do it. Let's say I can do add point on line. Then I'm going to have to select the line. If you can't select it, just expand it a little bit and you'll be able to select it. Continue, point on the line, continue, and it gives exactly the center that divided it into 2 equal parts, and save. So you do the same thing for this line, for this line, for this line, and the same thing on this line. Now you formed all the midpoints. The next stage is just draw a line between the midpoints. I draw a line from this point to meet this point, another line from this point to meet this point. The same thing goes for the front part of the sleeve. A line from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. I hope you're following me step by step and being as slow as I can be. So now that you've formed this cross section, you need to put a dot at the center. And to get a dot at the intersection of lines, just go to point, add point, let me see, add point at intersection. So it's going to ask you now to choose the 2 lines. So you come here, like I want to add here, I'll choose the 2 lines of intersection, and I will say continue, and you get the point right there. And save. So once you've gotten that, what you're going to do now, you're going to measure 3/4 of an inch from this point upwards in this direction. Remember, this is the x-axis, this is positive. So 3/4 of an inch is about 1.91 centimeters, and put your point. You do the same thing here. Now we are going to be using point from point. So we are going to get our 1.91 centimeters and 1.91 centimeters right here. And on the bicep line, you're going to come in by 1 inch, that is 2.54 centimeters, and also 1 inch here, 2.54 centimeters. So now we have all our points in place. That is our 1 inch point on the bicep line. That is the 3/4 of an inch point from this center point. The same thing for this side of our sleeve. This here is the front side of the sleeve, and this is the back side of the sleeve. So now we are going to create our curve. And how do we create our curve? We are going to create a curve that will run through from this center, run through this 3/4 of an inch point, come down and touch this 1 inch and then flow down here. So to create our curve, remember we go to curves, add curve, select start and end point. The curve is going to start here for the first one, that is for the back arm curve, and it's going to end here. So this is where it's going to end. Continue, and I'm going to have 2 curve points because it's quite long. I'll need 2 curve points to adjust it. You can even decide to have 3 curve points if you want, but 2 curve points will be okay for me. So just increase here to make it 2 curve points and continue and save. So now I'm going to have to adjust this with this to be able to create my curve. Remember, the curve has to pass through here, so we'll just adjust it. You keep adjusting this until you see that the curve is almost at the 1 inch point. 1 inch point, and this is the other point that is supposed to be there. So we use the second curve point and keep adjusting until it touches that particular place, and there you have your curve. There you have your curve. So that's this side of the curve. So now we'll do the same thing to get the second side of the curve that will go through this point and also come down, curve at this point and end at this point. So that is our sleeve sloper. As you can see, the front sloper is a little bit more curved than the back sloper. That's how it should be. It should be a little bit more curved than the back sloper. So what we are going to do now is remove all the dots that we do not need before we go ahead and then download our sleeve sloper. Now to do that, if you don't want to remove all this, you can just go to layers, and then we are going to go to copy items to a new layer. So what we'll do is just copy the things we need. Like I need all these, let me enlarge it a little bit. I need this, I need this. I'm going to need this, and I'll need this. I'm going to need this and this. So once I've selected what I want, I'll just click on continue. So this is my new layer name. Simply means I'll put sleeve sloper download. So that's what I will call it, and I'll enter and I will save. So that is taken to the sleeve sloper download. So now to be able to download our sleeves, once you're done, you just go here to file, you go to export as PDF and A4. And then you go to layers, select layer visibility. If I go to fashion draft, please, before you download, remember to go to file and do a save state. That is a state that you'll be using to, do other adjustments. If you want to create maybe a suit sleeve from this full sleeve, you can do so. So we need to save this in a state before you go ahead and download through the process that I just showed you. So long sleeve sloper save state. So we'll save it so that next time if you want to use this to create other kinds of sleeves, we can use it. So So go ahead and try your hands on creating your long sleeve sloper using this completely free online CAD pattern making software called Fashioner. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop your questions and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.